Welcome to number 8 Celebrity Interviews. It's our first one of the year and it gives me great honour to have the First Lady of New Zealand Rugby.
Did you hear that?
That was awesome. can we leave that in?
Yeah.
Who are you blaming?
Freddie.
Oh,
It wasn't me.
The First Lady of New Zealand Rugby, former Black Fern Sky producer, presenter, and the lady that many say put the rah-rah back into rugby, Mel Robinson.
Yeah, thanks for that.
No worries, good to have you, Mel. Thanks for your time.
Oh, this is my family, by the way. 4-week-old Freddie and Jensen, who's 15 months. I had to put them in as well because I'm a stay-at-home mum for 2 more weeks until the Super Rugby starts.
Did you always want to play rugby or was it another sport when you were young?
I wanted to be Flojo when I was young, 100-metre sprinter. So yeah, I thought she was hot. She was great.
She was hot.
100-metre was the glamour event, but unfortunately I wasn't quite fast enough.
Right. Yeah, what's your biggest highlight in your playing career?
Look, playing wise is probably winning the 2 World Cups that I was involved with. They're awesome. When you're on a campaign like that, that's great. In terms of off the field, would be making mates with girls I'm still friends with now. You know, that's the best thing about rugby. And then the other thing I really liked about it was smashing a chick on the field.
Oh, we've all wanted to smash a chick on the field.
Yeah.
When you were playing, were there any pre-match rituals you go through, or superstitions, if you will?
Not me, but I always used to go a bit wacky before games, like a bit hypo. And so I used to take the piss out of singing the national anthem sometimes and get into trouble for doing that.
Excellent. Would you like some delicious Jack Link's mountain beef jerky?
Yeah, give me a go. I haven't had this for a long time.
For those of you that haven't tried it, it's very nice. Available in 3 flavours at all good liquor stores nationwide. Who, when you decided to flag your 100-metre career, was the biggest influence on you to become a rugby player?
David Kirk, because during the '87 World Cup I fell in love with him and fantasised marrying him.
We didn't.
I think I was about 11 or 12 at the time. I told him that when I met him in real life when I was like 28. He got a bit scared, I think, so I'd had a few drinks. But probably my father, who was obsessed in a healthy way with rugby, and just the way he's always idolised All Blacks and top rugby players. And then being at Otago University, everybody's into it, so yeah.
What's during your career, which spanned, you know, some 8 years with the Black Ferns, what's the most embarrassing moment?
Most embarrassing moment? After a rugby training, I went straight to work, which was Mananyu's in Auckland in Papatoetoe, and I had my Scotties pair of undies I'd worn to rugby training, and I'd chucked them in the top of my bag and they'd fallen out on the stairway on the way up to work. And my best friend at work, Navak Ilolahia, she found them and said, "Who's these undies?" and talked about these really grotty undies on the stairway for the whole day, and of course I completely denied it. But they were mine. They were really bad.
Excellent. Has your rise to fame and becoming a celebrity over the last 10 years or so had an influence on how you treat strangers or how strangers treat you?
Well, I don't think I'm a celebrity. I don't really think we have many celebrities in New Zealand. You have to bite that in half here. But I love talking to people. So being on TV means I get to meet lots of people, which is cool because they might recognise you and come up to you and have a conversation and stuff like that. It's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
If we were, or if you were holding drinks tonight and you could only invite 4 teammates or colleagues, they can be past teammates or present colleagues, whatever, who would be the top 4 on your list? Not saying that they're not all worthy, but you know, you're only about 4.
If it was a dinner where we're going to get rowdy, it'd have to be Adrian Rikihana, who's a producer at Sky, who always looks after everybody when they're drinking. She's a great person to have around. Stu Wilson, fantastic dude. I've always loved having great time socially with him. Usually they don't end very early, and I'd have to say a couple of my rugby playing mates as well would be Anna Richards, the veteran first 5, who's been my mate forever, and also Mona Lisa Codling, because you always have to have a mate that does worse things than you do when you go out and she's it.
Alrighty, Mona's the bullet. Yeah. Brilliant. I should be rapt to know that. If you were chairman of the IRB for a day and you could change one law, what would it be?
Look, I think I'd change a whole lot of structures pertaining to women's rugby in the IRB because there are about 280,000 women rugby players in the world. The Sevens has got women's in the Olympics coming up, and I think that pretty much any lip service has been done for chicks rugby over the years by all national unions, etc. So I'd set up some robust structures in there and full-time salaried members working at IRB, and that should happen at NZRU as well, to actually set up the women's game properly, promote it, market it, get sponsorship, etc. That's what I'd do.
If we were to have a look in your refrigerator, what would we find?
Heaps and heaps of organic food. I cook with organic foods. Yeah.
There you go.
I do like cooking. It's the only housework I do like doing.
Who, when you were playing, who was the biggest personality in the changing rooms? The guitar player, the joke teller, the filthy one. There's always one in every team.
Well, I was the filthiest. There's no doubt about that. Kelly Kiwi was a good personality. She was a little halfback from Bay of Plenty. Used to smoke like a train. She was good on the gap. Fantastically natural player who never really did the fitness work but was amazing on the field. Yeah, I really liked her. Yeah.
Cool. Now you're a world famous rugby journalist and producer and that. Was that always what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Yep. I only discovered what I wanted to be kind of at university when I started playing rugby and fell in love with the game. So, and I majored in sociology of sport with my PE degree, so it kind of all fit in. Yeah.
Cool. How do you have your steak?
Medium rare, and usually cooked on the barbie. And I have my new favourite lately is a Jamie Oliver marinade that I do as well with it. It's great. It's got mustard and all kinds of stuff.
And what do you wash it down with? Are you a beer lady, a wine lady?
Wine. Wine, mainly Pinot Gris. Love Pinot Gris. Yeah.
Excellent. What's the best sledge you received on the field? Or if you like, the best one you gave out on the field?
Yeah, I never really received any sledges, but the worst one I ever gave out was when Steve Walsh was reffing us, the only time he ever reffed us, when we lost to England in 2001, and I yelled at him, "Ref, those lesbian so-and-sos are cheating." And he said to me, "F up." And he was our referee. So that was my sledge, and I got sledged by the ref.
Brilliant.
And then we ended up dating after that game, actually.
After that game, fantastic. Nothing like a bit of foul language to get it going. Bit of dirty talk. Do you have any Blackfern stories that haven't been told that should be told?
Yes.
Are you prepared to tell us one?
Well, I'll tell you one that won't get me into trouble. Our coach Daryl was pretty strict.
Yep.
And was a real supporter of behaving very well when you was playing for the team, and including afterwards at the aftermatch and the after party. And he'd heard about me burying my bum when I was out and about one night, and he selected me for the Hong Kong Sevens, New Zealand Sevens team one year, and he said to me, "If you touch one drop of alcohol on this whole entire tour, you're out of Blackfern."
That's not fair.
Well, I didn't think it was fair either. So of course I drank vodka with Coke in Coke bottles, but behaved myself, was responsible. It was only a few, you know, and except for I poured a really big one for my last one of the night in a tiny little Coke, and it was in a pint at some party somewhere in a tent. And he said, "Can I have some of your Coke?" And he sculled the whole thing. And he doesn't drink alcohol. And then he was wondering why the next day he was puking and very ill. And I never told him until 7 years after that I'd had vodka in the Coke.
Ashwin Ranshold asks, what are you wearing to the Sevens this year?
Well, I'm not going to the Sevens because I've got 2 more weeks before I'm back at work.
So is it fair to say you'll be wearing nothing to the Sevens?
Nothing. But I would love to, when I get back into training properly, come 1 year as Mystique from X-Men. You've got to have a good body to be wearing Mystique.
I'm sure you'll be ready for next year.
Yeah.
Have you found much sexism involved being a female rugby sports journalist?
There is a small amount. People do assume that when you're female that you don't know that much about rugby, but I've actually found that's worse from some of the traditional countries like England. I've probably had more bad experiences interviewing their players than I have in New Zealand. New Zealand's pretty good, you know, we're all pretty equal here, and I don't think there's a lot of sexism, especially in our generation and younger anymore, so a small amount, but it's not too bad. It's whatever. I'm like a man in a female body anyway, so you know.
Yeah, I've heard that. No, Mike, I think that. Who's the funniest person, or the most fun person you've ever interviewed?
Stu Wilson. I'll go back to Stu Wilson again. He is a fantastic dude to work with.
Isn't he brilliant?
Yeah, no, he rocks. He's a great man.
Yes, we'll be doing Stu on one of these shortly, hopefully this weekend.
Yeah.
Pre 6 o'clock would be handy, I think. Do you think the AB is looking at World Cups? Do you think the ABs can win it this year with their try-based game?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the systems that they've put in place have actually had there for a long time since Smithy's been involved with the teams. Like, they talk about playing with instinct, but actually to play with instinct you have to be very organised around it, and it takes a very long time to come around, because they went from, in 1998, this system where they're doing phase play and very structured, to having to break out of that a little bit, because they're still very structured play, of course, but to going with judging what's happening to the defence in front of you and then reacting, and that has taken a long time to have the right players in place to do it. And they're perfect right now because we've got leadership and youth balanced perfectly.
Here's one from Steve Hale.
Hi, Steve.
Is the story about the shaving of the ferns prior to the Amsterdam final true? I've got no idea what that means.
It is, but I never did it. It was always Fiona Richards, one of the locks, and Mona Lisa Codling, one of the locks. Yeah, and they continue that tradition for other finals that they were in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hopefully we'll be able to get one of them on the number 8 celebrity profiles. Have you got any advice for girls wanting to make it as a rugby journo?
Yep, you should always get all of your background knowledge as much as possible, so spend some time working in radio, print, or playing the game that you're going to be reporting on, so you actually have the background knowledge, because chicks generally don't spend the time learning the history like guys do. Like, you know, you could probably quote some bullshit thing from 1908 All Blacks.
Good.
Or, you know, some crap like that, whereas women, no, we don't take notice of those, so we have to work a little bit harder to get that background knowledge. Once you do that, and you get a bit of credibility, you're away.
Now, it's quite well known among the traps that you're quite the picker on the virtual rugby. Are you pretty much a log in and go with the gut feeling, or do you actually think about it, overanalyse the whole thing, and then make your picks?
No, I go in on a Thursday and I check out all the injuries around all the websites on all the teams, see who's got who, and then I decide who I'm going to go with. Yeah, so I do research, yeah.
Cool.
Although I have got a habit of backing the Blues and I really shouldn't.
No, it's a high risk manoeuvre.
Even this year I'm like tempted to back them.
They'll go okay this year.
That's what we say every year.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll give it till March. Another one sent in by Rifles.
College Rifles, that's my club. Yeah, that's my Auckland club, I should say.
You still have much to do with them?
Yeah, I do. I follow the teams and still go in there on that occasion. Mind you, I've been pregnant for 2 years, so I haven't gone on as much as I want, but I will.
2 years is a long pregnancy.
Well, 2 of them.
Oh, okay. A couple of names to throw you. Farah Park. Tell us about
great body in the shower.
Yeah.
Amazing hooker. She is an incredible player. And obviously she's a doctor in sociology. She's also taken time off to have a child. Amazing chick. Wicked. What
about Sasha Mandu?
Apparently, that chick is the perfect woman. Knows about rugby, cooks really well, keeps the house tidy, lets you go out on the booze with your mates.
Wow.
And good looking.
Wow, there you go. There's the inside oil from Mel Robinson. This has been number 8 Celebrity Profiles. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.